Hello dear students, today we start a very important chapter, the next chapter of your SYJC bookkeeping and accountancy, that is company accounts, where you have accounting for shares. It is also called as issue of shares. Earlier in the old syllabus, this was divided in two parts, company accounts 1 and 2, where first part was issue of shares and second debentures. Now debentures have been removed from the syllabus and you have only one, accounting for shares. Now you all know what is shares. You all are studying since FYJC. Okay, FYJC you all have done na? OCM mein, or even in SP, that joint stock company shares comes into picture in case of a company. Let's start with the basic. FYJC का account का basic. The money with which you start the business. What it is called? The money with which you start the business, it is called as capital. So capital is that money with which you start the business. Capital is that money with which you start business. Now whether it is your sole trading concern, sole trader, or a partnership firm, or any other organization, including companies, the money with which they start the business is called as capital. Now, as the name suggests, company accounts. I mentioned earlier also on the very first day when we started SYJC, 60% of your chapters are based on partnership, and there's one chapter, in fact, this analysis of financial statement, partly based on company, and this is purely based on company. Now, when I say company, your OCM ka terms or SP ka terms, joint stock company. Today, if a sole trader, a single person wants to start business na, say for example, he need 10 lakh rupees to start business, वो अपना घर का 10 lakh rupees लेके आएगा या किसी से borrow करेगा. Same thing can happen with a partnership firm. A partner wants to get admitted, you all have done admission. He will borrow some money or he'll bring his घर का पैसा and become a partner. But when your vision is high, the vision is long term, you want to expand at a great level. Of course, nobody can just start and expand. There has to be some prior experience in some industry or some prior experience of doing business for a certain years at a smaller scale. Then only you can jump high. So if somebody decides that I want to take my business now to a next level, higher scale, let us form a company. So a company is formed. Now you all know, company when it is formed, it can be either a private limited company or a public limited company. Now you all know, you all have done in OCM and SP. I'm not getting into that legal terms. As far as your accounts is concerned, this chapter, company accounts, whether the company is a private limited company or a public limited company, the accounting transactions remain the same. Private में क्या होता है? There are restricted shareholders, known people, friends, relatives, and public में open it is, anybody in anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, if they want to become your shareholder, they'll become your shareholder. Private में there is private placement. You need capital, you approach people, they'll give you directly. Whereas in case of public limited, I'm explaining in detail now. Public limited, you come out with an IPO. You all must have heard the word IPO. IPO, that means initial public offer. Earlier it was called as issue. That is another reason this chapter is also called as issue of shares. A company, say for example, they want 10 crore rupees. Okay, let's say a company is formed and they need 10 crores as a part of capital. Okay, now what will they'll do? They will print application forms and they will invite applications from the general public. People like you and me will invest. There will be some big guns who will also, like FIIs, we call it as financial foreign institution investors. They will come, they'll apply. You, me, common man like us will make an application. Okay. So we will make an application. Now you make an application for share. Company needs 10 crore rupee. Now before that, now whenever a share issue comes out, of course we'll be doing in each and every sum, there's a value attached to a share, and that is called as face value. Face value is also called as original value or nominal value. Face value can be 1 rupee, 10 rupee, 100 rupee, 20 rupee, anything. The company has to decide when it makes their memorandum of association and article of association. All that you all have studied in OCM and SP. Okay. Now say for example, I am assuming in this case the face value per share is 10. Okay. The original value assigned per share is 10. I'll come back again with share ka part also. So 10 crore divided by 10 कितना हो गया 1 crore. 10 crore divided by 10 हो गया 1 crore. So the company comes out with an application of 10 crore rupees, which is 1 crore shares of 10 each, which is 1 crore shares of 10 each. Now, how I told you that for a sole trader, there will be normal capital brought by him. Company will get capital from people like us. So that is called as shares. You all know very well, you all have done that. So when the company issues the shares, how to account, that is what we are going to study in this chapter. Okay. Now see, they need 1 crore shares of 10 rupees each. We will apply. Company wants total 10 crore rupees. When people apply, they can get more than 10 crores. They can get less than 10 crores. Very rare, they will get exact 10 crores. Okay. From objective point of view. Say for example, the requirement is 10 crore. Okay. They get exact 10. That is called as subscribed. Okay. That is called as subscribed. Of course, subscribed will always be 10 crore. Now say for example, 10 crore की जगह they get 12 crore. This is called as oversubscribe. Why oversubscribe? 10 करोड़ चाहिए था, 12 करोड़ मिला, 2 करोड़ एक्स्ट्रा, so it is called as oversubscribe. But देखो, company needs only 10, so subscription amount will be 10 crore. जो 2 करोड़ का excess है, either that will be refunded to the shareholders or it will be adjusted against future dues. Future dues कैसे आएगा? That we will see after some time, and also it will come in the next few lectures. So oversubscription means you get more money. 10 करोड़ चाहिए, 12 करोड़ आया, 2 करोड़ मेरे को वापस करना है और I will adjust against that dues. Next is under subscribe, or we call it as under subscription. 10 करोड़ चाहिए, मेरे पास 8 करोड़ आया. Now the question here is I am falling short by 2 crores. In this case, of course, it's not in your syllabus. You can take help of underwriters who are agents. They will arrange the 2 crores with you. Or in case the company says, चलो पैसा नहीं आया, it is not feasible to start, public को पैसा refund कर दो. Normally the trend is, at least 90% आएगा, so they continue. But practical life, whenever the company comes out, rarely it happens that they pay back money. They appoint underwriters and they see to it that 10 crores आ गया. So यहाँ पे 2 crore का additional provision company will make it anyhow. There are other things also, I am not getting into that because our focus here is accounting. Got it? So this is the thing. Now, when the company issues the shares, ये मैंने simple बोला transaction. Now when the company issues, there are 3 ways in which the company can issue shares. One is par, one is premium, and the other is discount. There are three ways company can issue shares: par, premium और discount. ये जो मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था ना, that is par. Par means what? Par means same value. Par means same value. That means 10 रुपए का शेयर 10 रुपए में, 20 रुपए का शेयर 20 रुपए में, 100 का शेयर given at 100. Whatever is the face value assigned, you have to decide that at the starting. The same value you will collect from the applicants, and that is your par value. So par means issuing the shares at the same face value. Next is premium. Premium means issuing shares at higher value. Premium means issuing shares at higher value. That means 10 rupee ka share issued at 11, issued at 12, issued at 14, issued at 15. 10 रुपए का फेस वैल्यू है, you issue at a price higher, and that higher price, now say for example 10 रुपए का share the company issues for 15 rupees, so about 10 how much you got? 5 rupees. So this 5 rupees is called as amount of premium. इसका अकाउंटिंग कैसे करने का, that we will see at a later stage, because initially 6-7 lectures at least, maybe more, I'll just focus on par, maybe more 7-8 lectures से ज्यादा par पे जाएगा. Okay, so premium means the shares are issued at a price over and above the face value. So par same value, premium higher value, discount lesser value. Discount lesser value. Now after the change in Companies Act, now there's a provision, company cannot issue shares to the public at a discount. Yeah, they can issue shares where it is other than cash. Other than cash तुम्हारे syllabus में ज़्यादा नहीं है. Towards the end there are sums. I'll tell you what is that. अभी suppose मैंने किसी से मशीनरी खरीदा. I buy a machine from somebody for 10 lakh rupees. I have to pay him 10 lakhs. Now what I tell him, मैं तुझे पैसा नहीं दूंगा, मैं तेरे को मेरी कंपनी के 10 लाख के शेयर दूंगा. If he agrees, I give him 10 lakh का shares. This is called as other than cash. Now, if I issue shares, I take money, that is called as issue of shares for a consideration. पैसा आ रहा है. बट ये जो मैंने एग्जाम्पल बोला, वापस रिपीट कर रहा हूं, मैंने किसी से 10 लाख का मशीनरी परचेज किया. Instead of paying 10 lakh का मशीनरी, instead of paying 10 lakhs for the machinery, I give him my company ka shares. So that is called as issue of shares other than cash. In that case, there can be issue at discount, but for cash component, you cannot issue shares at cash. There are few points in this. I'm not getting into that. SYJC level pe ho nahi hai. So when it comes to issue of shares, shares can be issued at par, premium as well as discount. Gradually over the next few days, I will be covering all the three variations: par, premium and discount. Got it? Clear? Now see, coming to the next point. When the issue comes, okay, when the issue comes, let's take the same example. कितना था वो? 10 crores का amount, 1 crore shares of 10 each. 1 crore shares of 10 each. Now understand this process part by part, because all the sums are based on this. Normally nowadays all the companies, when you make an application, they take full money in advance. But there are installments, and in your syllabus all the sums are based on that. Now let's take part by part. 10 रुपए का शेयर है. As I told you, company can take full 10 rupees in advance, or they collect part by part. Now, what are those installments? That is called an installment. The first thing is application money. The first thing is application money. Understand this. Application money means when I am interested, company has printed the forms and issued that forms in the market. I feel that chalo yeah, let's make an application here. So when I make an application, I will have to make a certain payment. If full payment is in advance, पूरा का पूरा 10 रुपया पर शेयर मुझे भरना पड़ेगा. Say for example, I say मुझे 2000 शेयर्स के लिए एप्लीकेशन करना है. So I have to make payment for 2000 shares. कंपनी पूरा एडवांस ले रहा है. So I will pay them 2000 into 10, 20,000 rupees I will pay on application. Now, as I told you, there are installments. इसके बाद कौन सा इंस्टॉलमेंट है, दैट विल कम इन 2 minutes. नाउ से फॉर एग्जांपल 10 रुपया है, कंपनी सेज एप्लीकेशन में यू पे 3 rupees. एप्लीकेशन में यू पे ओनली 3 rupees. सो कितने शेयर है मेरे 2000. सो एप्लीकेशन में व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल पे 6000 rupees. हाउ 6000? 2000 शेयर पे 3 rupees each. So I pay 6000 rupees on application. I have shown my intent to apply for 2000 shares. Application is 3 per share. So 2000 into 3, that is 6000. So application money received is rupees 6000. Now guys, understand this. If I or if someone makes an application, उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उसका एप्लीकेशन एक्सेप्ट होगा. It can be accepted fully. Company will give full 2000 shares. Company may reject full 2000 shares, give the money back. Or out of 2000, company can give them partial allotment. Partial allotment मतलब 2000 shares के लिए अप्लाई किया, shares मिलेगा लेकिन 2000 नहीं. You may get 500, you may get 1000, you may get 1500, you may get 2000. So you get shares in part. So either your application gets fully successful, fully accepted, either fully rejected, or you get part of the shares applied. Got it? So this is the first stage, application. Now if your shares are rejected, you are out. If your application is successful, okay, if your application is successful, let it be part or full. The next step will be the second installment after application. The second installment will be called as allotment money. Second installment is called as allotment money. Now what is allotment? तुमने शेयर्स अप्लाई किया, तुमको शेयर्स कंपनी ने दे दिया. That is called as allotment of shares. So allotment of shares means when you make an application and you are successful, company gives you shares, that is called as allotment. So allotment means giving shares to the company, giving a confirmation that we have accepted your shares ka application and now you become the shareholder of the company. That is called as allotment. And when the company gives you allotment, if the money is collected in installments, then after application, the second installment will be allotment money. Now again यहाँ पे it depends. Company can collect full allotment money in advance. 10 रुपए का शेयर था, 3 was an application. So if the company takes full allotment, 7 रुपया बचा, 10 रुपया देना है, 3 rupees was an application. So remaining 7 will be paid. That will be allotment. So allotment money will be that which is paid by the shareholders on the confirmation. In this case, it will be 7 if it is fully collected in advance. If not, then the company can give you further installments. Company will say, काम करो, अभी तुमने 3 भर दिया, now you pay 5. So 2000 into 5 on allotment, you will pay 10,000. See, इसमें भी there are variations. Right now at this stage I am not getting into that because मुझे पता है ये चैप्टर में थोड़ा तुमको टाइम जाएगा. Initially instantly समझ में नहीं आएगा. You'll have to watch the videos little bit carefully. Okay? So 10 रुपए का शेयर एप्लीकेशन पे 3 भर दिया, ऑन अलॉटमेंट 5, सो 10,000 रुपीज पे करना है. 2000 into 5, 10,000 रुपीज विल बी पेड ऑन अलॉटमेंट. सो 10 रुपए में से 3 रुपया यहां पे, 5 रुपया यहां पे, कितना हो गया टोटल 8. नाउ हाउ मच रिमेन्स 2. अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग. इफ द कंपनी हैज कलेक्टेड फुल इन अलॉटमेंट, ट्रांजैक्शन गेट्स ओवर हियर. नाउ आफ्टर अलॉटमेंट, ये जो बाकी का 2 रुपीज है, that the company will collect in the third installment, that we call it as call. Call or call money is the last installment which the company collects the money. The last installment benefit given to the shareholders, which is called as call money. So क्या होगा, 2 रुपया है, so 2000 into 2 कितना हो गया 4000. How to? 10 रुपए का शेयर है, 3 एप्लीकेशन, 5 अलॉटमेंट, 3 और 5 हो गया 8, 10 minus 8 बचा 2. So this is 4. Now guys see the total of this. 6 and 10 16, 16 and 4 कितना हो गया 20,000. एक शेयर कितने का था 2000. फेस वैल्यू क्या था 10 रुपया. 2000 into 10 कितना पे करना है 20 मैंने पे कर दिया. Got it? So this is the way how it works. थोड़ा बोरिंग लगेगा बट डोंट लूज इंटरेस्ट, बिकॉज व्हेन आई डू द सम, यही सेशन में करूंगा, वो सम बराबर करना, यू विल गेट योर कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी वेरी क्लियरली. ओके, नाउ सी व्हेन आई कम टू कॉल ना, कंपनी कैन गिव यू एडिशनल कॉल इंस्टॉलमेंट ऑल्सो. मतलब अभी 2 रुपया है, दे टेल यू ओके अभी एक भरो, बाद में एक भरना. इन शॉर्ट देयर कैन बी ओनली 1 कॉल, देयर कैन बी 2 कॉल्स. सो डिपेंड्स अपॉन द अमाउंट विच इज पेड. As I told you, nowadays practical life में companies prefer collecting money in advance, but there are few companies who still do it, and that is also there. That is there in your syllabus. Got it? So shares can be issued par premium discount. Par means same value, premium means higher value, discount with lesser value. Today I'll take some on par, and the next few days, next 1 week at least, we are doing some on par only. When you issue shares, either you can collect money full in advance, or part in application, part in allotment, or part in application, part on allotment, part on call. Now, later on, the sums will come where at a certain stage, a shareholder did not pay the money. Application pay किया, यहाँ पे 5 रुपया पे करना था, उसने पे नहीं किया. यहाँ पे 2 रुपया पे करना था, 2 रुपया उसने पे नहीं किया. So the company can cancel his shares. That is called as share forfeiture. Example दे दिया, I'll repeat again. Shareholder को कंपनी को पैसा देना था, अलॉटमेंट या कॉल, उसने नहीं दिया, कंपनी उसको रिमाइंडर देगी. रिमाइंडर के बाद भी अगर उसने नहीं दिया, then the shares are cancelled. That is called as forfeiture. इतना बेसिक याद रखो, आगे जाके समझ आएंगे. Right now I am not going to get in detail. शेयर फोरफीचर का वो टाइम पे देखेंगे, बट यस शेयर फोरफीचर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, बट यू कैन नॉट डू शेयर फोरफीचर विदाउट डूइंग द स्टार्टिंग का सम. नाउ से फॉर एग्जांपल, आज जो मैं सम कर रहा हूं उसमें 6 एंट्रीज है, 6 जर्नल एंट्रीज. इन दिस चैप्टर ईच एंड एवरी सम हैज गॉट जर्नल एंट्रीज. यहाँ पे लेजर अकाउंट्स नहीं है, यू जस्ट हैव टू डू जर्नल एंट्रीज. आई विल डू 6 जर्नल एंट्रीज इन टुडे का सम. थोड़ा बहुत ऊपर नीचे वेरिएशन होगा. When the point of share forfeiture comes, all the initial 6, 7, 8 entries are the same. Forfeiture की last 2 या 3 entry अलग से आएगी. So even if the sum is of share forfeiture, 80% of the sum will be the same what I'll be doing in the starting few days. Got it? Now one very important point from objective point of view, I'll discuss that and then I'll start with the sum. There is something called as authorized, issued and subscribed. Subscribe मैंने तुमको बता दिया, आगे जाके डिग्री कॉलेज में तुम लोग बहुत स्टडी करोगे. You should understand what it is. आगे जाके I have discussed each and every objective. Authorized share capital means the maximum shares what you can issue. Now say for example I am a company. I have the authority that I can issue only 10 lakh shares. So मैं 10 lakh shares से ज़्यादा issue नहीं कर सकता. So authorized share capital or authorized shares being those shares above which the company cannot issue. Next is issued. Issued मतलब कितना issue किया. मेरे शेयर 10 लाख है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं 10 लाख ही इश्यू करूं. I can issue 1 lakh, I can issue 2 lakh, I can issue 3 lakh, I can issue 4 lakh. So what I actually issue, that is called as issued capital. Subscribed, मैंने 4 लाख शेयर इश्यू किए, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सब लोग ने 4 लाख सब्सक्राइब किए. They were not fully subscribed. So subscribe means that subscription, that amount which the shareholders have actually taken interest for subscribing. Objectives जो मैंने डिटेल में दिया है, but these terms are important, especially authorize and issue, because आगे जाके डिग्री कॉलेजेस में you have to study in a better way. Got it guys? So now not wasting much time further, I have made an extra basic question. We will read the question and we will solve it. Understand very carefully. Get this first. ये एक 2-3 बार वापस देख लो, बिकॉज ये वीडियो यूट्यूब पे भी ओपन है. 2-3 बार इसको वापस देख लो एंड देन कम बैक टू द सम को ध्यान से करना. आई एम गोइंग टू मेक इट वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फॉर यू. You get this next session, automatically you will find it very interesting. Okay, now in the sum I have to pass 6 journal entries, so I'll just be back with the format of journal. Okay, I'll just be back guys. Okay guys, starting with the next question. The first question, in fact, as I told you initially, I'm taking sums only on issue of shares at par. Again I'm mentioning theory में बहुत कुछ और है समझाने के लिए, but at this stage I am not getting into that. Okay, चलो let's see. Aakash Limited issued, all of you all have the question in front of you, 1 lakh equity shares of 10 each at par. Amount was payable as 3 on application, 5 on allotment and balance on call. Shares were fully subscribed and all amounts due was received. Pass journal entries in the books of Aakash Limited to record the above transaction. अभी देखो, they want to issue 1 lakh equity shares. The shares were fully subscribed. I made it very simple. Over subscription भी नहीं है, under subscription भी नहीं है. I'll just write down the data here. तो फिर क्या मुझे क्वेश्चन देखने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा. 1 लाख शेयर्स का एप्लीकेशन है. ओके, 10 रुपीज का शेयर है. एप्लीकेशन, allotment and call. See the same example वाला. 10 रुपए का एक शेयर, 3 to be paid on application, 5 on allotment. कितना हो गया? 3 plus 5 8. So 10 minus 8 बचा 2. This will be on call. Okay, so this will be on call. I have written it here, so मुझे क्वेश्चन देखने का जरूरत नहीं. Okay, now understand this very carefully. We are going to record journal entries for the company. The name of the chapter is Company Accounts, Accounting for Shares. Shares can be issued only by the company and therefore we will be recording the entries in the books of Aakash Limited. So Aakash Limited का first entry, what I told you, they will come out with an IPO, initial public offer application. People like you and me will apply. Company gets an application of 1 lakh shares. They want to issue 1 lakh shares, they got application of 1 lakh. Application का पैसा, money is coming in. SYJC का basic, money comes in debit cash or bank, money goes out payment कर रहे हो credit cash or bank. Money comes in. Now companies Limited companies generally don't deal in cash except for small transaction, but ये जो issue का होता है transactions, that is always done through bank only. Ask your parents who are applying, it is done through online payments or by check payments only. So now listen, 1,00,000 shares है. First stage application. First stage application. कितना है application? 3 rupees. 3 rupees per share to be paid on application. Total number of shares 1 lakh. So on application, I'll put it in brackets. On application, the company will get 1 lakh shares के ऊपर 3 per share. On application, company will get 1 lakh shares पे 3 rupees per share. So 1 lakh into 3, company will receive 3 lakh rupees. 1 lakh into 3, company will receive 3 lakh rupees. What I told you, पैसा आएगा डेबिट कैश बैंक, पैसा जाएगा क्रेडिट कैश बैंक. बट कंपनी for share transaction they will deal through check only, through bank account. So पैसा आएगा, therefore you will debit bank account. Understand, I'm doing it very logically. So bank account debit 3 lakhs. Bank account debit 3 lakhs. Got it, guys? Now the question is, which account do I credit? Now listen. Company is issuing shares. You all have done in SYJC ना, अभी admission में भी किया है. When a partner brings capital, we credit capital. SYJC में when you start business with your own money, we credit capital. Okay? Now see, यहाँ पे भी capital करेंगे, but capital account यहाँ पे थोड़ा अलग word होगा. I'll come to that. Will come into picture only when you are allotted the shares. अभी तो मैं खाली application कर रहा हूँ, मुझे शेयर्स मिले नहीं है. शादी करनी है, लड़की देखने गया हूं, अभी तक रिश्ता पक्का नहीं हुआ है. सो राइट नाउ कैपिटल डजंट कम इनटू पिक्चर. एंड व्हाट इज दिस 3 rupee? एप्लीकेशन मनी. एप्लीकेशन मनी ऑन शेयर्स, एंड हियर इट इज इक्विटी शेयर्स. सो आई यूज द वर्ड टू इक्विटी शेयर application account. Some professors use the word share application. That is also okay, but there are preference shares also. So when they give you only shares, it is always assumed to be equity shares. Some people also write instead of equity share capital, share application, but I prefer writing this. So I'll repeat. 1,00,000 शेयर के ऊपर 3 rupees पर शेयर का एप्लीकेशन आ रहा है. 1 lakh into 3, I will debit bank account, money is coming in, and this is received towards application money. So I credit equity share application. Narration, make it very simple. Being application money received. Being application money received. Being application money received. Got it? Clear, guys? Now see, what I told you. यहाँ पे application money credit क्यों किया? Because ये खाली application है. यहाँ पे application money credit क्यों किया? Because ये खाली application है. You have not been allotted the shares. You have not been allotted the shares while passing this entry. अभी वो लोग ने बोला है all shares were subscribed. Now it is allotted. Now listen. A sole trader, or in case of a partner, when money comes in as a part of capital, we credit capital account. यहाँ पे भी capital होगा, but this is on account of shares. So we use the word share capital. On account of shares, so we use the word share capital. And if it is equity share capital, प्रेफरेंस है तो प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल. सो यहाँ पे इट इज इक्विटी शेयर्स, सो वी विल क्रेडिट इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल. नाउ लिसन, पैसा तो एक बार आ गया एप्लीकेशन का पैसा अभी वापस नहीं मिलेगा. नाउ लिसन व्हाट आई हैव डन, मैंने क्रेडिट किया इक्विटी शेयर एप्लीकेशन को बिकॉज एट दिस स्टेज मुझे पता नहीं था कि मुझे शेयर्स अलॉट हो गए कि नहीं. शेयर्स अलॉट होने के बाद आई ट्रांसफर दिस टू कैपिटल. नाउ आई नो, सो व्हाट आई डू, I have put it temporary in application account. Now, whatever I applied, I got. So, application account will be out. Out matlab, I have credited here. Now, in the next step, I will debit. So, equity share application account debit 3 lakh. So out मतलब क्या, credit by 3 lakhs, debit by 3 lakhs. That means from books of accounts it is out. How, मैंने debit भी same amount से किया, credit भी same amount से किया, so that account now has a zero balance. And what I told you, this is originally a part of share capital, so I will credit equity share capital account. As I told you, some people will also write only share capital. So to equity share capital account 3 lakhs. Getting it, guys? Let me write the narration and explain you again. Narration: being application money transferred to capital. Being application money transferred to capital. देखो, I'll repeat the first two entries. पैसा आ रहा है, I debit bank account and it is still under application stage, so I credit equity share application. Now, next में I will debit equity share application and I will credit share capital. So application gets cancelled. If you see the net entry, it becomes bank to share capital. FYJC, SYJC में बोला होगा, अगर started business with 3 lakh capital, cash or bank debit to capital, यहाँ पे हो गया share capital. Got it? If entire amount was received in advance, this would have been the two entries, but पैसा नहीं है. So now guys, first stage application out. Application हो गया. Now we come to the second stage, that is allotment. Understand the flow of the entry. Now we come to the next stage, allotment. Now listen. यहाँ पे we debited bank because लोग अप्लाई करेंगे. अप्लाई करने के बाद कंपनी डिसाइड करेगी किसको कितना शेयर देना. इसके लिए पहले पैसा आएगा. एप्लीकेशन हो गया, शेयर होल्डर्स बन गए. नाउ दे विल बी asked to pay the allotment money. They will be asked. So the company will send them a reminder and they will give them few days to pay. So now the next entry will not be money received, but it will be entry for allotment money due. That is nothing but allotment money receivable. Number of shares हर एक जर्नल एंट्री में 1 लाख ही रहेगा. Now it is allotment जो 5 रुपया है, so 1 lakh shares into 5 lakh. Now my entry number 3 will be 1 lakh into 5, that will give you 5 lakh. 1 lakh into 5, that will give you 5 lakh. Now listen, अगर ये एप्लीकेशन होता पैसा आएगा, बट पैसा अभी नहीं आएगा, नेक्स्ट एंट्री में आएगा. राइट नाउ आई एम गिविंग देम अ रिमाइंडर टेलिंग देम टू पे मनी. पे मनी फॉर व्हाट? allotment. Pay money for allotment. So this is receivable on account of allotment. So I debit an account called as equity share allotment account. So my next entry will be equity share allotment account debit. And now see, फर्स्ट एंट्री में मैंने कैपिटल नहीं लिखा बिकॉज शेयर्स अलॉट नहीं हुए थे. नाउ शेयर्स अलॉट हुए हैं, सो आई विल क्रेडिट इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल. Remember, share capital will come into picture only after the allotment is done. So, to equity share capital account 5 lakhs. So, my next entry equity share allotment account debit 5 lakhs to equity share capital account 5 lakhs. Let me write a narration. I'll again give you the brush up. Being allotment money due. Being allotment money due. Got it? Being allotment money due. Clear with this, guys? I'll repeat. 3 रुपए एप्लीकेशन आ गया, एप्लीकेशन खत्म. नेक्स्ट स्टेज इज अलॉटमेंट. मेरे पास टोटल 1 लाख शेयर्स है. एक शेयर के ऊपर 5 रुपया मुझे लेना है. आई एम सेंडिंग द रिमाइंडर. आई एम सेंडिंग अ रिमाइंडर टू द शेयर होल्डर्स. रिमाइंडर भेज रहा हूं, पैसा आया नहीं है. पैसा आएगा तो बैंक आएगा. बिकॉज द रिमाइंडर इज ऑन अलॉटमेंट, I debit the account called as equity share allotment, and it is a reminder to pay the money as a part of their capital, so I credit equity share capital. So my next entry is equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital. Narration: being allotment money due. Being allotment money due. Due matlab receivable. Now listen. सॉरी, अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक. मैंने शेयर होल्डर्स को बोला है भाई एप्लीकेशन हो गया, हमने तुम्हें शेयर्स दे दिया, अभी तुम लोग नेक्स्ट अलॉटमेंट, नेक्स्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट दैट इज अलॉटमेंट पे करो 5 रुपए के हिसाब से. नाउ आई हैव गिवन देम द रिमाइंडर. नाउ सी, ईदर ऑल विल पे और देयर विल बी फ्यू पीपल हु मे नॉट पे. वो आज के सब में मैंने रखा नहीं है. आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इनटू दैट एट दिस स्टेज आल्सो, बिकॉज starting में 2-3 lectures you have to be thorough with these entries, then only that stage will come. So now I have given the reminders for 5 rupees per share on 1 lakh shares, total 5 lakh. See the question, have they mentioned anybody has not paid? No, all amounts were received. That means मुझे पूरा का पूरा 5 लाख मिल रहा है. पूरा का पूरा 5 लाख मिल रहा है. That means पैसा आ रहा है. So money is coming in. So money is coming in. Therefore, I will debit bank account. कितना आ रहा है? 5 lakhs. So bank account debit 5 lakhs. And now the question is, what should I credit? Should I credit allotment? Should I credit share capital? देखो, capital is a liability. Why it is, I have discussed again and again. क्यों लाइबिलिटी, चलो वापस डिस्कस कर रहा हूं. ओनर का पैसा, शेयर होल्डर्स आर द ओनर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. याद है ना बेसिक, शेयर होल्डर्स आर द ओनर्स ऑफ द कंपनी, इट इज मैनेज बाय द डायरेक्टर्स. सो कैपिटल एक ही बार क्रेडिट होगा. यू कैन नॉट क्रेडिट कैपिटल अगेन एंड अगेन. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, सी यहां पे दिख रहा है एप्लीकेशन क्रेडिट किया, एप्लीकेशन डेबिट किया, कैपिटल एक ही बार क्रेडिट हुआ ऑन एप्लीकेशन. सेम थिंग विल अप्लाई हियर. आई क्रेडिटेड इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल. नाउ आई कैन नॉट क्रेडिट अगेन, एज आई टोल्ड इट्स अ लायबिलिटी. आगे जाके मुझे ये पैसा वापस करना है. सो इफ आई क्रेडिट शेयर कैपिटल, मैं अननेसेसरी डबल लायबिलिटी क्रिएट कर रहा हूं बुक्स में. सो इट वॉज ड्यू अगेंस्ट अलॉटमेंट. नाउ आई हैव रिसीव्ड. अलॉटमेंट में पैसा लेना था. Understand what? See my words. Allotment में पैसा लेना था. It was receivable, so I debited. Now I got it received, so I will credit. So to equity share allotment account. So bank account debit 5 lakhs and I am getting it against allotment. So I will credit equity share allotment by 5 lakhs. So bank debit 5 lakhs to equity share allotment 5 lakhs. Narration being allotment money received. Being allotment money received. Being allotment money received. Got it guys? So देखो, when it was receivable I debited allotment, when it is received I credited. अभी देखो allotment account be out. Out मतलब I debited by 5 lakhs, I credited by 5 lakhs, allotment out. Equity share application credit 3 lakh, debit 3 lakh out. Allotment debit 5 lakh, credit 5 lakh out. Allotment का stage over. Application हो गया, allotment हो गया. Now I come to call. Now I come to call. Again the same thing. Application में पहले पैसा आएगा, यहां पे रिमाइंडर देना था. Now listen, यहां पे क्या किया एंट्री नंबर 3 में I gave the shareholders a reminder for paying their allotment money. Exactly same way, I will give them a reminder to pay their call. I will give them reminder to pay their call. रिमाइंडर दे रहा हूं, पैसा भरने को बोल रहा हूं, अभी तक पैसा आया नहीं है. नाउ सी, वेरी सिंपल. When I give them a reminder to pay allotment money, I debit equity share allotment. When I give them a reminder to pay allotment money, I debit equity share allotment. When I give them a reminder to pay call money, I debit equity share call account. So equity share call account and पैसा कितना होगा? पैसा will be 1 lakh into 2. कैसे आया 2? जो हमने स्टार्टिंग में डिसाइड किया था. एप्लीकेशन का 3, अलॉटमेंट का 5 एंड कॉल का 2. सो 1 lakh into 2, that is 2 lakh. So equity share call account debit 2 lakhs, and this is receivable against capital. So I will credit equity share capital account. So 2 equity share capital, that is 2 lakhs. Got it? Narration being call money due. Narration being call money due. Got it? So equity share call account debit 2 lakhs to equity share capital. Getting it guys? Receivable against allotment, I debit equity share allotment. Receivable against call, I debit equity share call, and both are to be received as a part of the capital, so I credit share capital. What was this? Call money due. What was this? Allotment money due. allotment money due के बाद रिसीव हुआ. सेम वे कॉल मनी ड्यू मतलब मैंने कॉल को रिमाइंडर दिया, नाउ दे विल पे मी. So my last entry will be the entry for receiving the call money. Again the same thing. Either everybody will pay or there will be few shareholders who will not pay. Question ने बोला है पूरा पैसा आ गया, कितना? 2 lakh. Money is coming in. पैसा आ रहा है. So bank account debit, that is 2 lakhs, and this I am receiving towards call, so you will credit an account called as equity share call account. So bank debit 2 lakhs to equity share call account 2 lakhs. Narration being call money received. Narration being call money received. Getting it? देखो, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, both are interrelated. Allotment money due, received. Call money due, received. Wherever there is share allotment, now there will be share call. And again, I am repeating what I told you on the very first day. Please don't try to ratify, do it logically. Please don't try to ratify, do it logically. Okay, so bank account debit 2 lakhs to equity share call 2 lakhs. Let's take the total 3 lakh, 3 lakh, 6, 11, 16 and 4, 20. So my total is 20 lakhs. I could have written directly also, बताता हूँ क्यों. Okay, now guys, understand what I'm now see, call is over. अभी ध्यान दो, I'm showing you one very interesting thing. 6 एंट्री पास की बराबर. I could have passed a one single entry. वो करना नहीं है, because otherwise there is no point of doing this chapter. Now I will show you these 6 entries का conversion in one single entry. देखो कैसे. शेयर एप्लीकेशन गया, अलॉटमेंट गया. लेट्स डू इट हियर. एप्लीकेशन क्रेडिट, एप्लीकेशन डेबिट आउट, allotment debit, allotment credit out. Same thing can I say here? Call debit, call credit out. अभी देखो बचता क्या है? बैंक. डेबिट में देखो क्या बचता है? बैंक, बैंक. 3 डेबिट रिमेन, बैंक, बैंक, बैंक. क्रेडिट में क्या बचता है? शेयर कैपिटल, शेयर कैपिटल, शेयर कैपिटल. अमाउंट देखो 3 लाख plus 5 lakh, 8 lakhs plus 2 lakh, 10 lakhs. Capital देखो, credit 3 lakhs, credit 5 lakh, credit 10 lakhs. So my total amount is 10 lakh. कैसे आया 10 lakh? 1 lakh shares है, एक शेयर पे 10 रुपया, 1 lakh into 10, 10 lakhs. Bank account debit to equity share capital 10 lakh is one combined entry. Because 3 बार बैंक को डेबिट किया है, तीनों को ऐड कर दो. 3 बार इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल को क्रेडिट किया है, तीनों को ऐड कर दो. So 1 lakh into 10, it becomes 10 lakh. So 10 lakh rupee is my share capital का amount. I could have done a combined. And as I told you ना, I could have written directly 20 lakhs. कैसे पता है? ये 10 lakh है. हर एक एप्लीकेशन 2 एंट्रीज, अलॉटमेंट 2 एंट्रीज, कॉल 2 एंट्रीज, 10 लाख इंटू 2 हो गया 20 लाख. डोंट गेट इनटू दैट, आई नो दैट स्ट्रेटेजी, तुम लोग उसमें मत घुसो. क्लियर विद दिस गाइस? सो दिस वाज इश्यू ऑफ शेयर्स, अकाउंटिंग फॉर शेयर्स. इन योर एग्जाम you are going to definitely get a sum of 8 marks. In your exam you are going to get a sum of 8 marks definitely. Clear? I can explain more, but I will restrict myself till here only, because as I told you, if I start explaining everything now, thoda bouncer jayega. So let's go step by step. So I gave you the brief, what exactly shares, how issued. It can be issued in 3 ways: par, premium, discount, stages, application, allotment, call. ये video YouTube पे open है. Even in app I have given maximum views. So जितनी बार चाहिए उतनी बार रिवाइंड फॉरवर्ड करके देख लो. बट हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट गाइस, बिफोर वी मीट इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास, प्लीज जरा इसको बराबर कर लेना. Got it? That's it guys. I wind up here. See you all in the next class with a further continuation with issue of shares at par. And again I'm repeating, there are few things more I could have explained here, but because it was not a part of the sum, I'm not doing it. I will do it in the next or the next 2 class when that particular point comes. That's it guys. Take care and please revise this again.